guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am bringing you a video in collaboration with one of my friends here on YouTube. Her name is Maria. Her channel is AgapeLoveGirl. She does amazing, colorful, glittery, gorgeous tutorials. She also does some really great makeup reviews. So if you've never checked out her channel before, I highly recommend you do. I'm gonna link it for you guys in the description box of this video. Go leave her some love. Let her know I sent you her way. And so the idea for this collab came about because I was watching one of Maria's videos recently on the topic of makeup or beauty brands that she just was never interested in, and I thought it was such a great idea. I left her a comment on that video because I was like, girl, I could also film a video on this topic. There are so many brands I feel so similarly about. So she suggested we should collaborate. She wanted to film a second video, like a follow-up on the first one that she did with more brands that she didn't include. So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna be sharing the brands that I personally have never really been interested in and why. She's gonna do a part 2, so I will link both of her videos for you guys also in the description box if you'd like to watch them. And I highly recommend that you do. But I just thought this was such a great topic because there are so many beauty brands out there in the industry. It's a little bit overwhelming to figure out which ones you want to shop from, which ones are the best, and I think sometimes there's a lot of pressure for all of us to like and buy the same things, especially if you're someone that frequents YouTube beauty videos. But honestly, I think it's a great thing that we're different, that we have different preferences, skin tones, skin types, and that we don't all like the same things. So I just think it's interesting to talk about why we don't like or why we're not interested in certain things and why we are interested in others, because it just creates an interesting conversation. Obviously, both Maria and myself mean zero shade in filming this collab kind of little series because, you know, if you love these brands, that's amazing. I'm not saying that they're bad or that you shouldn't buy them. It's just personally, for one reason or other, something that didn't interest me. You spend your hard-earned money how you see fit. You do you, boo. There is no judgment from me. So please don't be offended if one of the brands you really like comes up in today's video. I just thought it would be a fun change of pace and an interesting topic. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Also, if you are new here or you're coming over from Marie's channel, welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and chatting beauty. My name is Lauren and I upload new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes on Saturdays. I hope you will subscribe and stick around for more. And with all that being said, why don't we get into the beauty brands that just don't interest me. So this first one I just want to touch on briefly. Now these two brands Maria talked about in her video, so I don't want to be too repetitive for you guys when you go to watch it, but if I'm being honest with myself, if I think of like the first two brands that come to my mind when I say what am I not really interested in the beauty world, this is what I think of. So KKW Beauty and Kylie Cosmetics. I have never purchased anything from either of these brands. I am not a really big Kardashian Jenner person. Like, I don't watch reality television. I don't really watch television much at all, to be honest. So I have no loyalty to them or to their brand. I don't think anything severely negative about them. I just know that they will not suffer to not have my support because they have many loyal customers. I just think their products are very expensive for what they are. And I just haven't felt that they were so unique or so interesting that I've wanted to go out and buy them, pay the shipping costs and all that jazz. And so I've kind of let other people be the ones to review and try those products. There are plenty of reviews out there. If you're curious about them, you'll probably never find them here on my channel because it's just not something that's ever really interested me. The next brand that I want to talk about is one that I don't really feel that I hear anybody talking about here on YouTube, at least not anymore. There was like a hot minute where people talked about their highlighters and that was about it. So that brand is Laura Geller, and Laura Geller is sold at Ulta. It is on the prestige side of their store. And I've just honestly never been really very intrigued to try any of their products. I've never purchased anything from Laura Geller. I think way back in the day I had gotten maybe a sample of one or two of their products in BoxyCharm, but it's not something I've ever gone out and purchased with my own money. Now they have a lot of baked products. They're known for their like baked gelato swirl highlighters. There was Gilded Honey back in the day was like a cult favorite product, but now there have been so many highlighters released that I think it's kind of been forgotten and nobody talks about it. I don't know, there was never anything in this brand that really drew me in and said, yes, I want to spend my money on that. And I don't think the products are necessarily bad. I haven't heard a lot of negative reviews. I just haven't really heard a lot of reviews, period. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about their products here on YouTube. I mean, they're still in Ulta stores, so somebody is buying those products. If they weren't, then they probably would have booted that brand out years ago. So I'm really curious, actually, if you've tried LORAC, do you love it? Are there products from that brand that are like your holy grails? Because maybe part of my lack of interest is just that it isn't really talked about, and I don't know very much about the products, and nothing has been said to me that's kind of piqued my interest. When I walk by the displays in the store, I kind of feel like, it's a blush, it's a powder. I have things like that. I'm not really into baked products, and that seems to be kind of their thing, so just hasn't really interested me. But if I'm missing out, let me know in the comments what you guys recommend. The next brand I've never really been into is Violet Voss. Now, I know a lot of people here on YouTube speak very highly of their eyeshadow palettes and their eyeshadow formula. I've seen a ton of tutorials using like the Holy Grail palette and their new Flamingo palette, I think was their summer launch. And they do look cool. I mean, it seems like the formula is decent, but maybe it's just eyeshadow overload. There are so many new palettes coming out constantly that my mind like cannot just like wrap itself around all of it. I've kind of stayed in a few lanes of things that for one reason or another are really interesting to me. And Violet Voss, maybe it's the packaging, maybe it's the color stories, maybe it's the fact that their palettes are really large and they're kind of expensive. It just hasn't ever spoken to me in a way that said, you know what? I really, really want to try that. I'm gonna go drop $60 on that palette because like I just need to know what it's like. Like I'm just gonna put it out there. I actually just picked this up. It's a new Makeup Revolution Emily Edit to the Wants palette. It's gorgeous. It's what I used to do my eyeshadow today. This was $20 and it has, I mean, like a ton of product in here. This palette's massive and it's got so many really cool shades. So like if I could get this for $17 because I had a coupon, why would I want to spend like 60 bucks on a Violet Voss palette? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just have thought that they look to me like the packaging and everything looks more drugstore indie type brand, but the price points are much more high end, and maybe that is what's kind of kept me from really getting hooked and really getting intrigued on their palettes. If they were prettier to look at, maybe. I hate to say that because it sounds really dumb, but if they had some other level of appeal, maybe I would have been more inclined to buy from them. But between the color stories and the packaging and the price, it's just kind of like, meh. The next brand I want to talk about is a little bit controversial, and I think a large part of the reason why I've never been interested in this brand is because of the drama that surrounded it, and that brand is Lime Crime. Now, Lime Crime is carried at Ulta. They just brought the brand on within the last year. I want to say even within the last 6 months, and I do believe that in more recent times, the whole drama with the owner and some of like the bad things I'd heard about that brand, things have changed. They've been kind of like laying low. I don't know if they had a change in ownership or what happened. I really don't have the full story. I think way back in the day when they were kind of originally hyped up, there was a lot of drama around the way the owner was talking about customers and influencers and just things on social media, and it was very unappealing to me. I'm not a dramatic person. I don't like drama, I don't like pettiness, and I don't like people being cruel to each other, that kind of stuff. Just like, I will run the other way, basically. So I just kind of stayed away from Lime Crime. And now that, even though that's kind of died down, I guess I just have kind of lost interest. I haven't, again, heard too many people talk about Lime Crime. I feel like because of all the drama, they kind of fell out of the spotlight. Their products are very colorful, glittery, a little bit more artistic, a little bit better for those kind of avant-garde looks or more drag-inspired looks, which I don't honestly wear all that often. So that's also part of why I'm not that interested at this point. They are a cruelty-free brand, so I know they do have that going for them, and I think a lot of people that shop cruelty-free like Lime Crime for that reason, because they have more unique products and they're cruelty-free. I don't know, I haven't really ever felt the pull. I think that experience in the past and all that knowledge just kind of put a little nugget in my brain that was like, meh, there are a million other brands I can shop from. Don't need to shop from Lime Crime. And the products they carry, they don't speak to my soul. So if you're a regular subscriber of mine and you've been watching my videos for a while, this next one is kind of weird and maybe a little bit of a surprise, but the more I was thinking about it, the more I felt it was appropriate for this video. So a brand that I've decided I'm really not interested in is Glossier, and here's the thing. At the beginning of this year, I said in my 8 brands I wanted to try in 2018 that Glossier was one of the brands I wanted to try, so I can't say I've never been interested in this brand. It's definitely something that has been on my radar because there's so much hype around Glossier in the beauty community. So many people rave about certain products, so it has to an extent piqued my curiosity. But at the same time, I think I've always known in the back of my mind, Glossier is so not designed for me. I am someone with very oily skin. I have texture, I have some acne scarring, and so I feel like Glossier is like the opposite of everything I want in makeup. It's very sheer, it's very dewy, it's great for people with dry skin, and basically designed for people with like perfect skin that want that very no makeup kind of look. There are a couple products like the Cloud Paint and the Boy Brow that I do honestly think in the back of my mind I could be interested in trying, but at the same time, like everything else from that brand, I think to myself, like, why, Lauren? Like, why would you really ever want to buy this? I added them to that list of 8 brands to try, and then every time I think about actually making a purchase, I don't. And I don't because I know their products really probably aren't gonna work that well for me, and it's probably really not worth the money for me. So I just have steered clear. I haven't bought anything from Glossier. Odds are, aside from those 2 products I mentioned, I probably won't, and it's just like being realistic. I think deep down, it doesn't really interest me. I'm just more sucked into the hype and wanting to know what everybody's talking about. This next brand I think is going to come as a shock to a lot of people. I almost feel like, dare I say this? But if I'm being truthful, this is how I feel. I am not really super interested in trying Tom Ford products. I know, please don't kill me. Really what it comes down to is that Tom Ford is so expensive. It's like $50 for a lipstick, guys. That is so much money. And while it may be beautiful and creamy and the packaging is gorgeous, I know there is zero way it can be that much better than the 50 other lipsticks that I have that cost a fraction of that price. And it's just makeup. It doesn't last forever. I could get 5 flower lipsticks for the cost of 1 Tom Ford one. And so when it comes to what I want to spend my money on, I just don't think there will ever be a time where I can bring myself to just drop that kind of cash on a Tom Ford product. It just doesn't interest me. Yes, it's pretty. Yes, I've heard good things, but it's not enough. And I have no shade to the brand, nor do I have any shade to people who want to spend that much money on makeup. Again, you spend your money how you see fit. I think that it's totally fine because it's your prerogative. I just, for myself, feel this sort of like, I don't know, this pull of it's not really worth it to me. I have kind of a limit in terms of how much I'm willing to spend on individual products depending on what they are and what they do for my skin. Skincare specifically is something I will tend to splurge a little bit more on because it's actually affecting the quality of my skin. But makeup, it's just makeup, it washes off, and I don't know. Tom Ford, you're beautiful, you're pretty, but no, I can't, no. This next one is also a little bit like, to say, because this brand is like a beauty giant. It's been around forever and ever and ever, and I know so many people love this brand, but it's just not something that I've ever been super into, and that brand is Clinique. I have definitely tried Clinique products in the past, and probably because Clinique is one of those brands that's very popular at department stores. Like when I was growing up, my great aunts would give me like the little free makeup they would get when they would go out and make a purchase from, you know, like Macy's or Nordstrom's or Filene's when Filene's was still a thing. So of course I have tried Clinique products, but I honestly don't think I've ever gone out and spent my own money on something from Clinique because I'm not really into it. I don't really see what the hype is all about. I haven't really ever completely fallen in love with a Clinique product. I mean, I get their vibe. They're a little bit more classic, neutral elegance. They're kind of for like the everyday working woman. They also have products that are geared more towards teenagers, and I certainly feel like when I was growing up as a teen, that was one of those like big brands that it was like, ooh, Clinique. Everybody had the like toners and the dramatically different moisturizing lotion, and everyone was like, oh, it's the best skincare ever. And now I definitely don't feel like that's the case. There are so many other skincare brands that I love and think work better for me than Clinique ever has. So I'm just not really into it. There hasn't really been anything that I'm like, oh my God, yes, I need that. I haven't seen any new launches from them that I've been really intrigued by or heard incredible things about. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I got PR from Clinique one day, I would try it, I would give it a go. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, it's not a brand that has ever really spoken to me or made me like want to buy stuff from. And the last brand that I want to share with you guys today is again another really popular one that I could probably get some slack for talking about in this way, but I've never been really into Kiehl's. I know some people swear by their stuff, and I've heard some great things about some of their products. I've just never fallen into the hype. I don't know, it's a very expensive skincare brand. It is finally being carried at Ulta. I think part of my lack of interest came from it just being less accessible. There was a Kiehl's store in my mall. I don't know why, I just never really felt like going in there. I don't know, it's just one of those brands that it's kind of like a cult following around Kiehl's. Some people use so many of their products and love them. I just have fallen in love with so many other skincare brands and products. I've never really felt like diving into the whole world of Kiehl's. Maybe it's just that it feels like a lot. It's expensive. There are a lot of products. I don't know a lot about them, and I'm just maybe like overwhelmed by my options. I don't know. Again, Kiehl's is one of those brands that I'm sure if you put the product in front of me or like gave it to me and were like, here, Lauren, try this out, I'd be like, all right, I'll give it a whirl. It's not like I'm opposed or hating on the products. I just know in all of the years I have been loving beauty, all of the years I have been blogging and making videos and all those things, I have never once bought a Kiehl's product. I've never once been tempted to buy a Kiehl's product, and I haven't really tried anything either. So that says to me there's got to be some lack of interest there, because it's not like people don't talk about the brand, and just for whatever reason, something that hasn't really interested me. So I think that wraps it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much again for hanging out with me today. I hope this topic was interesting. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if there are beauty brands that you've never really been interested in, or if I spoke about a brand that you love and said that I wasn't really interested in it, but there is like a particular product that is like your holy grail, that you're like, Lauren, but you don't understand, you need this in your life. Let me know in the comments. I always welcome your feedback. I love hearing from you guys, and I definitely appreciate all of your recommendations so much. And of course, make sure you go head over to Maria's channel, watch her video, leave her some love, let her know that I sent you over there if you're coming from my channel. I'm really excited to see what she talks about in her second video especially, and if we have any similar brands. Very, very curious. If you enjoyed the topic for this collab, make sure you give my video a thumbs up and hers as well. And again, if you're not subscribed and you want to see more of my videos, click that button before you go. Hit the bell if you want notifications so you'll know exactly when my videos go live, because I'm the worst and I don't have like a upload schedule time-wise yet. Working on that. So that about wraps things up. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.